We live in an era of massive, 8K digital infrastructures. But there's this secret heartbeat keeping all those flawless digital signals in perfect sync. Welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking a spec sheet from HDTV Supply for the AJA C10DA 1x6 Analog Video Distribution Amplifier. And looking at why analog infrastructure is still hiding inside your favorite digital broadcasts.
Yeah, it's really the ultimate paradox of modern broadcasting. I mean, you'd think an analog amplifier would be completely obsolete today.
Right, exactly.
But it's actually this foundational building block for how we, seamlessly consume media.
Okay, let's unpack this because I was thinking about it like plumbing. If you take a single water pipe and split it into 6 separate hoses, your water pressure just drops significantly. So if we split one video signal to 6 screens, doesn't the picture quality suffer the same fate?
Well, what's fascinating here is that this device is an amplifier, not just a passive splitter.
Okay, yes.
Right, because if you passively split a BNC connection 6 ways, your impedance goes completely haywire.
The signal voltage just drops off a cliff.
Exactly. You're left with artifacts and degraded video on the receiving end. But this box takes one input, supporting standard NTSC or PL formats, and it actively pushes it out to 6 identical destinations.
So it maintains that crucial 75 ohm impedance across all 6 runs.
Yeah, precisely. By actively amplifying it. And that's where the manual gain adjustment comes into play. It lets engineers tweak the gain from -3 up to +3 decibels.
Oh, wow. So you can actually boost it manually.
Yes, because when you push a signal through a massive studio, cable resistance naturally degrades the voltage. So they're physically injecting more electrical amplitude into the signal before it leaves the box. It guarantees the video arrives at the far end of the building at the exact standard voltage.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. We live in this era of digital 4K and 8K screens, so why does an analog amplifier matter at all? I mean, nobody is routing standard definition analog video to modern broadcast monitors anymore.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it has a secret weapon. In professional HD workflows, the C10DA isn't typically pushing standard picture data. It's distributing tri-level sync.
Wait, tri-level sync?
Yeah, it's essentially acting as a central metronome. It feeds a sync signal, so all the digital HD equipment in a facility operates in perfect, unified timing.
Oh, that makes total sense. Because in a huge facility, you can't have frames hitting screens even a millisecond apart.
Right. When an external sync signal is fed into this device, it distributes that exact timing reference everywhere. Without that analog metronome keeping the beat, your pristine digital signals would just constantly drift out of sync.
Wow, so it's a heavy responsibility for one piece of gear. And what strikes me about this is the physical footprint. When you think broadcast infrastructure, you picture massive, heavy server racks humming away.
Oh, for sure.
But because this just needs to push a sync pulse, it's incredibly compact. It's under a single pound and smaller than a smartphone, just 5.8 by 3.1 inches.
It's built to be invisible. You run it on a simple 5-volt DC power supply, tuck it behind a rack, and basically forget it exists.
And then it uses external dip switches, right?
Yeah, exactly. You flip a physical switch to set your configuration. There are no complicated software menus to navigate or, firmware to constantly update.
From an integration standpoint, it seems really accessible, too. What are the logistics for getting one?
Well, the unit costs around $235, and it includes a 5-year AJA warranty.
That's a pretty solid deal for broadcast gear.
It really is. And looking at the vendor data from HDTV Supply, the surrounding logistics are telling. Integrators aren't just buying the hardware, they rely heavily on the vendor's technical support staff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you read the reviews, buyers specifically shout out team members like Mike and Rachel.
Because mapping out exactly how these analog signals will route through, highly complex digital facilities requires serious logistical support.
Exactly. You need that human element to make the hardware work for the space.
So what does this all mean? We constantly surround ourselves with massive high-definition digital screens, but it's this hidden old-school technology that actually makes them work together seamlessly. The next time you watch a flawlessly synced live television broadcast, consider this. How many of these invisible analog heartbeats are quietly pulsing behind the walls right now to make our modern digital world possible?